Teretonga greeted the opening round for the Toyota Racing Series with all 4 seasons in a weekend, which provided demanding conditions for tomorrow's future stars. In the end, it was Kiwi Mitch Evans that came away with the first round victory and the Spirit of a Nation trophy.
Start the championship off with 3 podiums is not a better way to start it off.
G'day, welcome along to 3 Sport for round 2 of the Toyota Racing Series from the level circuit here at Timaru. I should say the international circuit, very appropriate for this international field we have in the Toyota Racing Series. Well, it's barely been a week since the opening round of the series. A fantastic set of races here at Teretonga. We're set for another go. Mitch Evans will be very happy that it's not the weather we had here last year, weather that almost cost him the championship, a massive shunt. He's kept us straight so far in practice, and I've got to say he is leading the championship as well, but he's got some strong challenges, none less than Alex Lynn, who caught up with Murray Taylor.
When I was about 6 years old, my father brought me my first motorbike for Christmas. I started racing that until I was about 11, and I had a bit of an injury when I was racing, so I took a bit of time off, and my mum said I wasn't allowed to do it again, so I decided to race karts. Started when I was 11, didn't really take it too seriously. Got it a bit more seriously 2 or 3 years later and decided to go car racing. Had a really good first year in Formula Renault UK, and we're looking to win the championship this year, so we decided to come out to race in New Zealand to give us the best start.
So the Renault UK series is really quite similar to the TRS cars.
Yeah, they're very similar, same amount of power. Probably if you brought a Renault car over here, they'd do about the same lap time, really.
So what's the advantage in coming down under?
At the moment, I think I've got all the bugs out of me. I mean, like the first race at Teretonga, I don't think I made a great restart. It's just all those rusty things that you pick up over the winter, just not really racing.
And what's your impression of the circuits down here?
They're quite tight and twisty, but we've got a lot of them back home, and you know, I think they're going to get a lot better when we go up into the North Islands.
How do you get to the top these days?
Well, it's very difficult. I mean, there's so many paths you can choose. I think at this stage it's either kind of Formula BMW or Formula Renault back in Europe. And then from there on it's either GP3 or F3, and it's probably going to be British F3 if because I think the Euro Series is struggling a little bit. But it's a very difficult platform, and you've got to choose the right series, you've got to get noticed at the right time, and it's all about all those opportunities.
What's the reaction been back in England to you coming down here?
It's been pretty calm, really. I think no one really knows much about the championship down here, which I think is a bit of a bad thing, because it's a fantastic championship, and it's for the professionalism wise and the organisation, it's equally on par with Formula Renault UK. I mean, the cars are prepared just as well. It's a top-notch championship, and for sure I think we should get some more European drivers down and make it an even bigger series than it already is.
Yes, the internationals are certainly out in force this season in the Toyota Racing Series, and it's a very important series for them, these European drivers, especially a chance for them to get some competitive mileage before the European season kicks off, and some very tough mileage too. Well, speaking of mileage, it's time for us to rack some up. Let's head to the track for race 1 with Jamie McCarthy and Bob McMurray.
After a spectacular start to the Toyota Racing Series at Teretonga, round 2 here at Timaru International Motor Raceway, and here is the grid lineup for race 1. Awesome effort from Mitch Evans in qualifying. More on that soon. Alex Lynn in second. Scott Pye qualifying third ahead of Mario Farnbacher. Then we go back to Ivan Lukashevich and Nick Cassidy, who had some dramas. Jamie McNee and Australian Nick Foster from row 4. Row 5 start for Alistair Wooten and Damon Leach, who's had a troubled start to the weekend. Josh Hill and Daniel Kievat from row number 6. Go back to Jordan Skinner and Kotaru Sakurai. That's how they line up for race 1. So it was a sensational qualifying, getting ready for race number 1. Who's going to win the start down to that all-important first turn? If Alex Lynn can get the start, he will have the inside line to the first corner, waiting for the lights to go out. Who will it be? A great start from Mitch Evans. Well, that ends that story.
What a start. What a start. With Scott Pye in third position as well. He had a good start.
3 wide further back. I think there might have been a little bit of contact on board with Alistair Wooten. Sideways out of 2 to turn 3. The Castrol curve.
A little bit fraud around this first turn. There's a few drive. Oh,
Damon Leach.
Damon Leach has had a bit of an accident there with
Scott Pye is that? In one of the E-Tech team cars?
No, I think Scott Pye got away, and there's McNee, so that could have been Josh Hill.
McNee has got some damage. It may have been Josh Hill. We just have to wait and see and get confirmation on board with Alistair Wooten. Will that bring out a safety car, more importantly?
We seem to have had a safety car almost every session this season so far, so it's quite possible it could.
Mitch Evans, he set the 6 fastest laps in qualifying. He qualified grids 1 through 6 effectively.
So I think he's assured of himself of a decent pole position in second lap. But look at him now. He's just running away from Alex Lynn already.
Alex Lynn in second. So it is Pye in third. So I think you're right. I think it was Josh Hill.
I think it may have been, yeah, Josh Hill, definitely. Josh Hill's had a fraught time here in Timaru so far. He's had engine problems, gearbox problems. Here we see the start again. Oh, well, look at that going into turn 1. There you see Damon Leach spinning. Josh Hill just going through there.
Kievat was also involved, but I think he got away without any contact. This is Mario Farnbacher and Nick Cassidy, who'll be spectacular to watch. We know he's got car speed. Just for 2 rounds in a row, he's had an off in qualifying, couldn't get the car started again, and bringing out the reds. He was penalised 3 positions again. Farnbacher's been very impressive.
Yes, he has. Mario Farnbacher is very impressive. Once again, getting used to the cars and the way the cars work. The first 2 days here, they had rain in their sessions. They got used to the track, and now they're actually getting racing. Sakurai as well, the Japanese driver, he was also penalised 3 places. Here's Alistair Wooten coming, a good manoeuvre. Coming into the straight there.
I wonder if Jamie McNee was maybe looking to pull into pit lane with that damaged front wing. Here's Alistair Wooten, Radio Hierarchy supercharged batteries, number 17.
Alistair was very pleased with his qualifying time. As he said, it was the fastest he's ever been round this track, and he was more than happy with that.
So here's Kievat. He did get some contact on the way through. So the Russian, he's had a troubled start to the weekend, had some mechanical issues in qualifying. Surprisingly, a long way back.
Very long way back for Kievat. He last night, in fact, he took the ball on the pitch for the Russian rugby team that's visiting here. And today, unfortunately, in qualifying, the fuel pressure went on in the fuel pressure pump didn't work. So he was quite a long way back on the qualifying session, and now he's had another problem. Not a good start to his weekend.
So Mitch Evans controlling things out in front. 3 different race winners from the opening round at Teretonga. Evans taking out the feature race.
And the 3 different race winners are in 1, 2, 3 position. Evans, then Lynn, then Pye from Australia. Scott Pye, of course, the winner of the Formula Ford Championship in England. And he's come back. He didn't actually race in the Toyota Racing Series last year, but the year before, 2008-9.
Evans, of course, taking out that Spirit of a Nation trophy in the deep south. So Evans leads from Alex Lynn, Scott Pye, Mario Farnbacher, Nick Cassidy, Ivan Lukashevich. The other Russian, very impressive in qualifying. That was a good gain for the N2 competition driver.
Lukashevich, yes, yeah, indeed. He was. He is a very good driver. He just seems to be a little bit nervous coming into the Toyota Racing Series at the moment. But after Teretonga and after the Thursday sessions and Friday sessions here, they're really getting their backsides comfortable in the seats, and they understand how these cars work.
Well, Mitch Evans can't afford to relax here on lap 5 of 12 complete. There's Alex Lynn within 1.2 seconds of the reigning Toyota Racing Series champion, Scott Pye in third. That's probably a similar gap back to the Australian. Let's take a ride with Wuru around Timaru.
Coming into turn 1 there, he's in 5th gear, 220 kilometres an hour, and then he changes down into 3rd. Then up again into the gear, and he just cruises around the big sweeper there, and then he gets onto the back straight, goes through the gears, all the way up to 6th gear, the top speed of this car, and he'll reach, as he approaches the braking area here, 230 plus kilometres an hour, has to come down to 4th. You'll hear him change again. Now down to 4th, around there at about 140 kilometres an hour. Accelerates again up to 185 kilometres an hour, and once again around the sweeper, down into 3rd position. He's now doing about 100 kilometres an hour. Another acceleration, very quickly grabs a gear, drops a gear immediately, and now down into 2nd gear to come round at about 70 kilometres an hour through the wiggly bit, the left and the right, and then back onto the front straight where he just climbs up again to 5th gear. Some of the drivers claim 6th just before they get into turn 1. He'll probably keep it in 5th and just go across the line at about 220 kilometres an hour. That's how quick a lap is around this place. One little blink of an eye, and you're off. And he didn't blink, and he's not. He's doing very well.
All right, there's Scott Pye in the third position, second in the points. Let's talk about the championship, Bob. Mitch Evans going into the round with a 24-point lead. Alex Lynn a further 4 points back in third. Nick Cassidy in fourth, just 60 out of the lead.
We got Scott Pye in second position with 178 points there as well. So these three leading the race at the moment, the triple people, they've got the championship as well. So the other guys have got to get their backsides into gear now. We're on the last lap.
Yeah, well, last lap board is out. Mitch Evans under control out in front. Alex Lynn just starting to come under a little bit of pressure now from Scott Pye on the last lap. The gap was just 0.8 of a second at the line last time by. So we look back over the rear wing towards the chasing Scott Pye.
Scott Pye had a few problems coming into this race with the electronics. Clearly that's been cured now because he's just as quick as anybody else.
But for race number one, it's going to be Mitch Evans, his second win for the championship in his championship defence. Evans with the victory in race one at Timaru, the wet and forget Toyota, taking the win by 2.3 seconds over Alex Lynn and Scott Pye. Lynn notably making an improvement in the points, but Mitch Evans with the victory. So Mitch Evans becomes the first repeat winner for the 10-11 Toyota Racing Series Championship from Englishman Alex Lynn, Australian Scott Pye, German Mario Farnbacher in fourth, Nick Cassidy in fifth, with the Russian Ivan Lukashevich completing the top six.
We got a really good start, and manager had a really good first lap, which is always a plan. Manager put a bit of really decent gap on the first couple of laps, which kind of made it pretty comfortable from there. We just try to keep a really good gap between me and Alex, and we managed to do that. So yeah, the car was really good. So I thank the boys from Drives Motorsport for doing a fantastic job, and my sponsors, we didn't forget Banklink, Gilchap City Toyota, Genai, Huffer and Alpine Stars.
It was pretty uneventful really. I didn't really make the start I really wanted to get. Unfortunately that allowed Mitch to get the jump on me, but I tried to push him a bit harder the first half of the race, but it just really wasn't going to happen, so I decided to back off and save my tyres because we've got 3 races to do on the tyres.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, practice and qualifying didn't exactly go the way we wanted it to, but that happens, and thankfully we still got on P3 for the first race, and as it's proving, it's extremely difficult to pass in these cars. So to finish where we started, it's slightly disappointing considering I think we had better pace than that, but it's third at the end of the day, it's points, so we'll just continue on and see how we go.